Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today discuss Michel Foucault. Okay, important terms. Number one, discourse. General meaning. Discourse ordinary means a formal and extended mode of speaking, writing on a subject. Extended mean long and continuous. Okay. Then the Foucauldian explanation for Foucault, discourses is not simply language or conversation. It is a historically specific, that means limited to a particular time period, system of statement, practices and institutions that together knowledge. Produce knowledge means create accepted ways of knowing. Discourses determines what can be said, what is authorized means officially allowed to speak, from which institutions position. Institutional means like to social organizations like hospitals, courts and schools. Okay, and with what legitimacy. Legitimacy means accepted authority or validity. Discourse does not reflect reality. Instead, it constitutes constitute means bring into existence reality by defining object of knowledge. Okay. Then, for example, medical discourse constructs illness is a scientific object. True. Diagnosis, classification. Classification means systematic grouping. Okay, and treatment. Now come to the next important term, power. Power, knowledge. General meaning, power means the ability to control or influence other, while knowledge refers information or understanding. So, Foucauldian explanation. Foucault rejects the traditional view of power as purely repressive. Repressive means forcing obedience through punishment. Instead of power is diffuse. Diffuse means spread throughout society and relation. Okay, power and knowledge are mutually constitutive. Mutually constitutive means they create and sustain each other. Knowledge always operates within power relations, and power relies on knowledge of function effectively. For example, uh, psychiatric knowledge produces categories such as mental illness, allowing institutions to regulate behavior. Okay. Then number three, archaeology. General meaning, archaeology usually refers to the study of first through uh, excavation. Excavation means digging up remains, okay, under the ground. Then the Foucauldian explanation about the archaeology. Foucault, archaeology is a methodical approach. Methodical means related to method. Okay, the studies, histories, discourse. It does not search for origins. Origins means first beginnings. Okay, or authorial intention. Intention means personal purpose of the writer. Okay. Instead, archaeology examines the rules of formation. Rules of formation means conditions that allow a statement to exist. The govern what can be said in a particular historical moment. For example, an archaeological study of medicine analyzes the clinical language became authoritative in the 18th century. Okay. Then the number four, genealogy. General meaning, genealogy commonly means the study of family descent. Descent means lineage. Okay. So Foucauldian explanation about the genealogy, a critical historian method inspired by Nietzsche. Okay? Nietzsche. It exposes the contic, contingent. Contingent means accidental, not necessary, and conflict ridden. Conflict ridden means shaped by struggle. Okay, emergence of truths. Genealogy rejects ideas of moral progress. Moral progress means steady ethical improvement, okay, and shows that accepted truth arises from power struggle, not reason alone. For example, modern prisons develop from technique of surveillance and discipline, not humanitarian reform. Now come to the episteme. So, what is the episteme in general meaning? Episteme broadly means of a system of knowledge. Okay, so the Foucauldian explanation about episteme. An episteme is an underlying structure. Underlying means hidden but fundamental of thought that governs what counts as knowledge in a given historical period. It functions as a historical a priori. Priori means existing before conscious thought. Okay, people living within an episteme are usually unaware of it, yet it shapes all intellectual activity. For example, the modern episteme creates man as both the knower and the object of study. Now come for number six. Now come to the number six, statement. Okay. General meaning. A statement is usually understood as sentence expressing the fact or opinion. So Foucauldian explanation. For Foucault, uh, statement is not defined by grammar but by its discursive function. Discursive function means role within a discourse. A statement becomes meaningful only with a specific institutional and historical context. Statements are events. Event means occurrence within discourse, not merely linguistic units. For example, the claim madness is disease function as a statement only within medical discourses. Okay. Number come to regime of truth. General meaning. Regime of truth refers to a system that controls accepted truth. So Foucauldian explanation. Foucault this argues that the truth is not universal or timeless. A society establishes a regime of truth through institutional mechanism. So mechanism means organized system. Okay, that validate certain statements while excluding others. Truth is therefore politically regulated, controlled by power and structure. Okay. For example, scientific truth is produced through universities, journals, and professional authority. Number 8, subject. General meaning. A subject means an individual person. So Foucauldian explanation. Foucault challenges the Enlightenment idea of the subject as autonomous. Autonomous means self-governing. Okay, auto means self. Okay, then and rational instead. The subject is constituted. Constituted means shaped through discourse and power relations. The subject is both an effort of power and a medium through which power operates. For example, a criminal exists as a subject only with legal and penal system. Subjectivity. General meaning. Subjectivity refers to personal identity or inner experience. Okay. So Foucauldian explanation. Uh, Subjectivity describes the historian specific ways individuals understand themselves. These self-understandings are produced through normative practices. Normative means setting standards and social regulation. Subjectivity is therefore socially constructed, not natural. For example, people learn to see themselves as normal or deviant through social norms. Number 10, disciplinary power. General meaning. Disciplinary power means control exercised through discipline. So Foucauldian explanation. Disciplinary power is a modern form of power that works through surveillance. Surveillance means constant observation and the examination. Systematic testing and the normalization means enforcing standards. Unlike sovereign means ruler's authority. Disciplinary power is subtle, continuous, and internalized by individuals. For example, schools regulate students through timetables, rankings, and examinations. Number 11, surveillance. Okay, surveillance. General meaning, surveillance means source observation or monitoring of people's behavior. Okay, so Foucauldian explanation. For Foucauldian, surveillance is a central technique of modern power. It involves the continuous observation. Continuous means ongoing without interruption. Okay, of individuals in order to regulate behavior. Surveillance works not by force but by making individuals feel permanently visible. This visibility produces self-regulation, means control one's own behavior, and because individuals internalized internalized means absorb into oneself to gauge of authority. For example, CCTV cameras in public spaces encourage people to behave properly, okay, even when no authority figure is present. That's it. Now come back to the number 12, panopticon. Okay, panopticon. General meaning: the panopticon is a circular prison design proposed by Jeremy Bentham. Okay. Foucauldian explanation. Foucault uses the panopticon is the metaphor. Metaphor means symbolic and representation. Okay, for modern disciplinary society. In the panopticon, prisoners are always visible to a central watchtower. Okay, but never know when they are being watched. This create automatic obedience. Automatic means self-acting without force, and makes power invisible. Invisible means not directly seen. For example, modern examination system function panoptically by monitoring performance continuously. Okay, monitoring performance continuously. That's it. Then number 13, general meaning about normalization. Normalization means the process of making something appear normal on standard. Okay. So Foucauldian explanation: normalization is a process by which power establishes norms. Norm means accepted standards of behavior and measures individuals against them. Those who deviate means differ from the norm, are corrected, disciplined, or marginalized. Normalization transforms differences into deviance. Deviance means abnormal behavior requiring correction. For example, psychological testing labels behaviors as normal as abnormal based on statistical norms. Okay. Then number 14, biopower. Biopower means power exercised over life. So Foucauldian explanation: biopower refers to modern power focused on the managing biological life, bodily and population level process. Okay, that is called biological life. Instead of simply uh, punishing individuals, the state regulates birth, state health, sexuality, and longevity. Okay, longevity, longevity. Biopower marks a shift for the right to kill to power to make life. For example, public health campaigns regulate diet, exercise, and sexuality. Then biopolitics. General meaning: biopolitics means political control of biological life. Biopolitics is a political application of biopower at the level of populations. Population means large group of people. It involves statistical measurement, regulation, and optimization. Optimization means making something function efficiently of life process. Okay, biopolitics treats life of as political and economic resource. For example, census data and vaccination policies are biopolitical tools. Then number 16, resistance. General meaning: resistance means opposition or refusal to comply. Okay, so Foucauldian explanation. Foucault argues that resistance in immanent. Immanent means existing within. Power relations. Power is never absolute. Wherever power operates, possibilities of resistance emerge. Resistance does not exist outside power but with its networks. For example, alternative sexual identities challenge dominant sexual norms. So number 7 is history of the present. General meaning, history of the present means studying the past and to understand current conditions. So Foucauldian explanation. So Foucault studies history to not glorify the past, not reveal the contingency. Contingency means lack of necessity of present institutions. This approach exposes how current systems are historically constructed rather than natural. The aim is critique. Critique means critical questioning. Okay, not nostalgia. For example, studying prisons to question modern ideas of punishment. Number 18, author function. General meaning, the author function refers to the rule of authors interpreting text. So Foucauldian explanation. Foucault argues that the author is not a creative origin but a discursive function. Discursive function means rule within discourse. The author name controls interpretation. Okay? Ownership and classification of text. This this limits the pre-circulation of meaning. Circulation means movement in an interpretation. For example, Shakespeare's name gives authority and value to text attributed to him. Now the okay, that's the finished term. Critique of humanism. General meaning, humanism is the belief of universal rational human nature. Foucauldian explanation. Foucault rejects humanism, arguing that man is not timeless but a historical construct. Construct means something socially produced. The human subject emerges within specific discourses and power relations. Humanism falsely presents historically produced identity as universal truth. For example, modern psychology defines that it means to be human according to scientific norms. That's it. So if you like this video, so please subscribe, and any regarding this term error, please write the comment box. Okay, then I will try to correct this in the upcoming videos. Thank you so much.